Other interesting political news, you have California suing the largest oil companies, biting the hand that feeds. Granted, it's feeding them soy because it's California, so who would really want to eat it? But nevertheless, some of the biggest companies that contribute to their economy and their energy grid, they're going to sue them. Yet, reason number 1,998,875,424 reason that it's difficult to do business in California, the lawsuits and the state itself, as well as the rules, taxes, regulation that are probably thicker than most U.S. dictionaries. Now, it looks like the specific lawsuit is for, quote, allegedly deceiving the public for decades about the dangers posed by fossil fuels and for billions in damages resulting in climate catastrophes, unquote. How are they going to prove that? That's going to be a tough one. Granted, they're controlling the courts, and not all the courts in California, but many of them are left. Most of them are left leaning. But again, I don't know. I'd love to see the actual case studies or the actual statistics on how they're going to prove that. And also, it looks like they're deceiving them for decades. The suit specifically accuses Shell, Exxon, and BP, as well as a few others, of misleading the public about the efforts to reduce emissions, even as they earned record-breaking profits. The complaint also seeks the creation of a fund to pay for the climate-related mitigation and damages, as the state claims it spent billions of dollars paying for climate disasters. What? I forgot it's California, one of the most hypocritical places on the planet. Can't help but notice they certainly profited a lot from these oil companies throughout the years. Many of them have offices there. Also, Gavin Newsom specifically, one of the biggest hypocrites of all time, he actually gave out record number of fracking permits. Specifically, looks like he gave out 12 permits to a company by the name of Era Energy, AERA, which is a joint venture owned by both ExxonMobil as well as Shell. But you also have Era also receiving 24 permits from the California Geological Energy Management Division. So, if they're so evil and bad, why are you profiting off of them? Why are you allowing them to operate in your state? Because they're desperate for capital. California has been bankrupt for years. Now, thanks to other states bailing them out, it looks like during COVID they actually had a surplus because of all the money that we printed. But I can't think of a better reason to move your headquarters out there if you're an oil company right now. It's going to get to the point where they can't exist. And a lot of people are pointing to the correlations or a little bit of the similarities between this as well as the tobacco companies where they were sued into oblivion. And they had to they actually had some of them diversifying into a myriad of other products, including, oddly enough, an oil shipping company and beer. There's a lot of unusual years in the tobacco industry when they have to pivot from their core competencies. Now, interestingly enough, I don't know if they're just going to settle and try to pay this to go away from the oil company perspective, but again, California also needs this. They need fossil fuels. California consistently has rolling blackouts because they don't produce enough energy. They're so utterly inept. They have all these time brownouts where they want everyone to have an EV car. By law, they banned gas lawnmowers, leaf blowers, snow plows. Pretty much they want to ban all gas products. And by 2030, and by 2035, I believe, California actually wants to ban the sale of new cars that are gas powered. They can't support their current infrastructure, but perhaps they just want a virtue signal. They want to ban it tomorrow, or seemingly tomorrow, as with automotive companies, fiscal quarters seem to go like that, and they need a lot. The amount of logistics they're going to have to go into actually pivoting to meet that demand is going to be huge. It's going to take years. Now, it'll be interesting to see if that law stands, as the federal government the House of Representatives more accurately, they recently passed legislation to make that illegal, to try to protect customers' choice and consumers' choice. But, right now, California is begging you, don't charge your electric car tonight because we can't support the power. And they're not going to embrace nuclear anytime soon because they're not prudent enough to do that, which is the cleanest form of energy that we currently have today. But they want to get rid of all these oil companies. So let me know, how is California going to solve their energy issue? I just thought of it. This is perhaps why they're taxing the citizens to death and the businesses to death, as well as allowing crime to run rampant. So many people are leaving the state of California, going to great places like Florida and Texas, that there will eventually be so few people, their energy grid can meet the demand. That perhaps is their plan all along. Then you don't have to worry about the solar panels not supplying enough energy, the windmills not being efficient enough. There's just only going to be 12 people left. In which case, the energy demands are much, much smaller. And I'm only 18.5% kidding. Let me know in the comments, do you think these companies will further remove themselves from the state? It is one of the largest, most populous states, so I don't know what the ROI is going to look like in terms of this fine. Is this fine going to be greater than their profit from that state? It'll be interesting to see, but as I always say, time shall tell. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September, so if you click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, get that free flamethrower with every September purchase. Go to toppictechnologies.com to learn a little bit more. Also, don't forget to take the time to like and comment. The feedback is greatly appreciated as we make the show better and better together. And lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.